Ilana Yagudayev, and she is our local Canyon Park rep for American Family Insurance. And Ilana, you've been at this for a while. I believe you said it's over 10 years, right?
Mm-hmm. It is.
Yeah.
It's been 12 years since I've been at this location.
Yeah. And I mean, you're like kind of almost a fixture in the community now.
I like
right?
to think I am.
I think so.
Yeah, I've gotten out there and I've been a part of the community and with some foundations and the Chamber of Commerce and yeah, it's been great.
So what are some of your favorite charities?
Well, I work with the North Shore School Foundation, which is my passion. Children's charities are always what I lean towards.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I have a lot of friends who are into also charitable foundations, so we commingle and work together and support each other.
Oh, yeah.
It's nice. It's amazing to be a business owner in this community.
It's really fun, actually. That's one of the things that's been one of my favorite parts of being a member of this community is just the way that our business community works together.
Absolutely.
It's so much fun.
Absolutely. I've made a lot of good friends doing this.
That actually brings up another point. Isn't there like a women's group that you're connected with?
There is. And I've made a lot of girlfriends in that group as well. It's Fave Lifestyles with Karen Ray, and I met her a few years ago, and she just has a knack for bringing amazing businesswomen together. And then through that, other things form and friendships form, and we do book clubs and movies and wine events, and keeps me busy.
So you mentioned wine. There seems to be a theme there. I mean, I know we're really close to Woodinville, and when I was talking to Karen, in fact, if you haven't seen the video with Karen, you should go check that one out too.
Yes.
But there's a theme. Every one of the women that I've spoken with out of that group, we always end up coming back to wine.
Yeah.
What's that about?
Most of us have kids, and
Okay, say no more.
Enough said.
That's awesome. So how do you approach your business? What is it that you bring to the community as an insurance provider? How do you look at things?
Very simple. I like to keep it simple, and that's my motto. I don't make anything complicated. I sit down with customers. We get a feel for their whole insurance portfolio. It doesn't take long. It's something that anyone should do at least once a year, but if not every couple of years, because things change, circumstances change, kids are born, children go off to college, divorces happen, marriages happen. So there's always a need to review. Right. And that is what I love to do with people, whether they're my customers or not. And then, just life is constantly changing. You have to keep up on that. And insurance is the one thing that can really cause a financial hardship and catastrophe if it's not in place and not correctly in place. When there are gaps, that's not something that you want to have when there's an incident.
Actually, that's a whole dissertation, I think.
Oh yes, I could go on for weeks. I don't get invited to lots of parties because I talk about it a lot.
You're like a case history reciter?
I'm very passionate, yes I am. And a lot of those cases are my own customers, so I've been very close to them, and they're part of my family. My clients become our family, and I'm very passionate about preventing that from happening.
Absolutely.
For any gap to be there.
What is one of the, what would you say, maybe the top two mistakes that you see people making with insurance?
Number one mistake, buying insurance online without talking to an agent. Almost every time there is a gap in coverage, and they end up talking to an agent after and asking what they can do to remedy the situation. Well, once an accident happens, you're not remedying anything.
Right.
You get what you paid for. And it's kind of like I compare it to shopping. If you're going to shop at Nordstrom or you're going to shop at Value Village or Goodwill, you get what you pay for. And even though they're both amazing companies, again, Nordstrom backs their product. There's going to be someone that will help you, with the selection. And there are lots of pros to going with a Nordstrom of insurance, or having an agent to speak with. Right. To have a look at the whole picture.
You bet. Well, and I think that's interesting you bring that up, because I mean, there's a lot of parallels between what you do and what I do in real estate.
Absolutely.
nobody goes looking to bargain shop for a house.
Exactly.
They go looking to find a house that fits them.
Exactly. It is the biggest purchase of your life. You need someone knowledgeable.
And then you need somebody knowledgeable to take care of
To
the
protect
unforeseen stuff that can come up
Absolutely.
down the road.
Absolutely. And I
Yeah.
have a lot of friends who are financial advisors who I
Mhm.
trust very much, and they, we always talk about how to put those things together, because if you're investing your money, that money's up for grabs if there's an accident and there's not
Right.
enough coverage, and
Right.
you can very easily not have enough coverage.
Right.
And sometimes it's a matter of $10 a month to have twice as much coverage as what you currently have, and that just takes talking to an agent for 5 minutes. It doesn't take long. Just invest that time and you will not be sorry.
Is there? No, actually, I'm gonna back up. So, is there a? You do property.
Mhm.
You do casualty.
Mhm.
You do life.
Mhm.
Okay. Is there? You do boats and motorcycles.
Business, boats,
Business?
motorcycles, snowmobiles.
Okay. Is there anything you don't
Everything. No, there are some businesses that I don't handle just because I feel more comfortable giving them to a broker who just does that and specializes in that.
do? Mm-hmm.
Those are more general contractors, things like that.
Like where you need a
little
bond
out
or
of my
something like
realm.
that.
But I've never picked up a hammer in my life, so I'm not going to pretend that I know anything about that. But
Right.
I'll insure a beauty shop all day long, right?
Oh,
or a salon,
okay.
or a pedicure, manicure salon.
Right.
So those are, I try to stick with what I know best, and that's auto,
Yeah.
home, most businesses, and life insurance.
You bet.
Yeah.
So, well, actually, that kind of brings us around to the next fun question. I think we answered. Did we answer both the questions about the two mistakes? Did we get that covered? The
like-
second one?
I don't think I did the second one. The second mistake is thinking that it will never happen to you.
Oh,
That is the biggest mistake people make.
Yeah.
Right there in the top with with the other one. It will never happen to you. And
right.
whether it's a car accident or a house fire or unfortunately the loss of a loved one, whether that's a spouse or a parent or a child, that's a devastating conversation to have with someone. But when I get that phone call that someone has passed away and I ask if they had life insurance because they may not have had it with my agency, it's a very difficult situation to be in, not to have it, not to be
Absolutely.
prepared. And insurance is very simple. It's about transferring risk to someone else. So the
Yeah.
risk is out of your hands, and it, when I got life insurance when I was married many years ago, it was a relief. It was a relief just knowing that, you never want to lose your spouse, but it was a relief knowing that it will be okay eventually. And
Yeah.
when that's not in place, that panic sets in. No, the banks don't tell you it's okay not to pay your mortgage for 5 months until you get over it, or
I can tell you they don't like that.
they don't.
Yeah.
Or the power company isn't going to tell you they're going to keep your power on for a year until you're okay. The
Right.
bills keep coming, and unfortunately, that is part of the preparation, and that's what having an agent is there for.
I've always found it interesting, and I think we all do it.
Mm-hmm.
We know that the things that happen in life,
Mm-hmm.
the unplanned, is inevitable. Everybody knows that. It's just not inevitable for me.
Right. I hear that a lot.
Yeah.
I was on the phone with a customer this morning who said, "You're not going to believe this." And I said, "I bet I will." And she said, "I had an accident. 20 years I haven't had an accident, and this is actually her second one this month."
Yeah.
And I said,
Wow.
Anna, if I could put you in my office and keep you here for a few months so you could talk to every customer who walks in and tells me they'll never have an accident, I'd be golden.
Yeah, no, I'm
I'd
good.
be
I'm
golden.
good.
Right. I've never had an accident.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's the way it always happens. So insurance is about just the preventative measure. If it happens, we don't want it to happen, but if it happens, we want to know that you're going to be okay.
So you mentioned you can do kind of a quick 5-minute overview of kind of somebody's insurance portfolio and kind of look that over, right? Do you also do a deep dive?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If somebody wants that, I love that.
Yeah.
And my favorite part of this is teaching someone enough in layman's terms that they can understand, because insurance is not complicated, but when I use the insurance terms, it's overwhelming, right?
Oh, yeah.
If a doctor uses words about medicine that I don't understand, I kind of shut off, right, by sentence 2. And I never want my clients to feel that way. So I try to make it as simple as possible, and I want them to have enough information to make a solid decision for themselves. I am not the one that should be deciding what insurance you want for your family. That is your responsibility.
Absolutely.
And you should have enough information and be empowered enough with enough information to make those decisions for yourself, because then you can't blame someone else, right?
Right.
If you want the low limits, but you understood what they meant for you and what the consequences were, that's on you.
Yep.
I never want that to be on anyone else other than the person that's buying the insurance.
Well, and I'm going to assume now, since you brought doctors into this, your handwriting's better, right, though?
It is.
Oh, good.
It really is, yes. But I still let them write.
Oh, good. So, okay, so we've talked business. What do you do for fun?
Oh my goodness. I love bowling.
Really?
And movies.
Okay, now, do you have a bowling shirt?
I do not. I don't have bowling shoes or a bowling ball, and I'm no good at bowling, but I just love bowling.
You're just knocking things over.
I'm not very good at much, but I just love trying.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love, when the kids were little, we went bowling a lot, and that was just memories of some really fun times.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and I have a lot of, my girlfriends that I love having wine with, and
there it is again.
Movies, and I try to keep myself busy, but the kids keep me busy. I have a 15-year-old who keeps me very, very busy.
Say no more.
That's my youngest, and the other two are older, but it's still, being a mom is always hard work.
I've heard that it's full time.
It is. It's two full-time jobs,
Exactly.
actually, and I think when you have more than one child, it's even more than that.
Well, we've always said in our house that even though there's two of us and we've only got one kid,
right,
we've been outnumbered since the beginning.
Absolutely, that's so true. That's so true. But yeah, my 15-year-old boy, and he's getting ready to drive, and I every time I have a story about a customer that's been in an accident, I tell him about it. And his number one thing to say is, "Mom, I don't want to hear anything sad." And I said, but you have to know that this happens, because I want you to be prepared out there. And I really told him some horror stories. And I don't think he listens, but hopefully somewhere in his head he'll keep that information.
It'll show up when he's like 30.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I hope so. I hope so. But he's a good kid. I'm lucky.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, Ilana, is there anything that you would like folks to know about you and about your business? We're a little family here. My daughter works with me. She runs my office. Her name is Becca, and everybody loves Becca. Yeah. She's 23 years old, and she is my right hand, my left hand, my legs, and my eyes, and my brain most of the time. In case you haven't been here before, she has the gang out front.
Yes. Our clients, I want them to come in here and feel like we're family. Yeah. And we are. This doesn't have to be complicated, and everyone needs someone to talk to, and we love hearing their stories, and I love watching these kids grow up and be a part of their lives. And I've had clients that have been with me for 10 plus years, and it's just, we feel really blessed to be a part of this community. And then my best friend Kim works with me, and she's been with me for 6 years, so we're best friends outside of work and at work, and she's an incredible human being. So we have a great little thing going here.
I think that's actually very telling. The fact that you can have your best friend and your daughter working with you.
Yes.
I think that says what a great human being you are.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
If those people who are so close to you can be with you on a daily basis, you're doing something right.
Yeah. We have fun. We have a lot of fun.
That's fantastic.
That's what it's all about. Life is short. Yeah. Being in the insurance industry, you see so many bad things, and you see so much tragedy and people hurting, and you quickly realize daily, I'm reminded of how short life is, how precious it is, how precious the people in your life are, and how, it's never as bad as you think it is. Right. It's really never as bad as you think it is. We just make the most of every day.
Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
Ilana, it's been such a pleasure.
Such a pleasure, Dennis. Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you again. This is Ilana Yagudayev, again at American Family Insurance here in downtown Canyon Park, just off the 405 interchange.
Thank you.
You bet.